Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. So let's discuss the topic of Talaq Hasan. In the earlier video, we discussed Talaq Hasan. Now we will discuss Talaq Hasan. Talaq Hasan is the most approved form of divorce in Indian Muslims. Talaq Hasan is the second most approved form. This is the second most approved form, Talaq Hasan. So it is behind Talaq Hasan. Talaq Hasan is most approved form. In Talaq Hasan, what the husband did, he can pronounce the divorce only once during the first month, and that also during the period of purity or tohar. I have already discussed with you what is period of tohar or purity. It is that period during which the wife does not go through menstruation. There are no menses during that period. So at that point of time, the husband can pronounce this formula of divorce. Then afterwards, he has to abstain from sexual activity with his wife for successive 3 months. After 3 months are over, that is iddat period. After the iddat period is over, this talaq hasan form totally becomes irrevocable. But in talaq hasan form, which we are now discussing, the husband instead of pronouncing only once the formula of divorce, he has to pronounce the formula of divorce 3 times, not one time, as in Hasan form. In Hasan form, he has to pronounce this formula of divorce 3 times in 3 consecutive months, in 3 successive months. For example, first time in the first month, and that also during the period of purity of his wife, period of tohar, when she's not going through menstruation. Then he has to abstain from sexual activity. Then in the second month, again during the period of tohar of his wife, he has to pronounce the formula of divorce. Then he has to abstain from sexual activity for 1 month. Then during the third month also, he has to say the same thing again, divorce, and that also during the period of purity or tohar. After the third pronouncement is made by him during the third month, this Hasan form totally becomes irrevocable. So once he pronounces the third time this formula of divorce, that is in the third month, then it totally becomes irrevocable. Before the third pronouncement, he can revoke this talaq by saying something through his mouth. For example, he's saying, I don't want to divorce you or whatever. So through expressly also, but impliedly also, he can revoke this divorce. For example, the most common thing is, for example, if he resumes sexual activity with his wife. If he resumes sexual activity with his wife before the third pronouncement of divorce, obviously what it implies, it means that he has revoked this divorce which was pronounced by him during the first 2 months. But before third month only, he can revoke this divorce only before the third pronouncement. But once he has pronounced third time, in the third month, then obviously he cannot revoke it. This divorce totally becomes irrevocable. So what is the main difference between talaq Hasan and Hasan form? In Hasan form, the husband has to pronounce divorce only once during the first month. Then he abstains from sexual activity for 3 months. After 3 months are over, talaq Hasan form is complete and it is totally irrevocable. Now it cannot be revoked. But in talaq Hasan form, he, instead of saying formula of divorce only once, he has to say it thrice, 3 times during 3 successive months. And after the third pronouncement is made, then this talaq Hasan form totally becomes irrevocable. So these are the main two forms prevalent. And the third type of divorce is talaqul biddat or triple talaq. But recently, Supreme Court of India has banned it. It is totally illegal to pronounce triple talaq in India, and certain type of punishment is also given. So regarding talaqul biddat, we will be discussing in some other lecture. But for this time, this is enough. So I hope you like the lecture. Thank you very much.